Good morning, everyone. I hope today finds you well. Thank you very much. Now it's time for our daily bread, and we'll be back with other things as we. Today's show is going to be an interesting conversation, one like we've never had. We'll be back in a minute, so don't go no place.
Every member of God's family is equipped to glorify the Lord and build others up in love.
Things will be working anyway. I don't know what happened to my
today's
sound
encouragement
today.
from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Celebrating God's Creativity, was written by Soshi Dixon.
Let me get this thing squared away
As
here.
As music filled the church auditorium, colorblind artist Lance Brown stepped on stage. He stood in front of a large white canvas with his back to the congregation and dipped his brush into black paint.
There's general,
with
there
smooth
is
swipes,
audio,
he completed a cross.
blah, 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 blah,
Stroke
blah.
after stroke with
blah,
brushes
blah, blah,
and his
blah.
hands, this visual storyteller created images of Christ's
what I do.
crucifixion and resurrection. He covered the large patches of the canvas with black paint and added blue and white to finish a now abstract painting in less than 6 minutes. He picked up the canvas, turned it up.
All right, I got that.
Whether we give a word.
Now, let us go to our daily bread. It is how we start this thing off. So you guys hang loose. And today is believe it or not, it is the 12th day of August. We'll be back.
Every member of God's family is equipped to glorify the Lord and build others up in love. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Celebrating God's Creativity, was written by Soshi Dixon. As music filled the church auditorium, colorblind artist Lance Brown stepped on stage. He stood in front of a large white canvas with his back to the congregation and dipped his brush into black paint. With smooth
the determination to achieve excellence
stroke
in
after stroke,
your various fields of endeavor.
This visual story
You're going to be deciding as the days of the
Christ's crucifixion and
the
resurrection.
determination to achieve
He covered the
excellence.
large patches of the canvas with black paint and added blue and white to finish a now abstract painting in less than 6 minutes. He picked up the canvas, turned it upside down, and revealed a hidden image, a compassion-filled face, Jesus. Brown said he'd been reluctant when a friend suggested he speed paint during a church service. Yet he now travels internationally to lead people into worship as he paints and shares Christ with others. The Apostle Paul affirms the value and purpose of the diverse gifts God has dispersed to his people. Every member of his family is equipped to glorify the Lord and build others up in love. Paul encourages us to identify and use our gifts to edify others and point to Jesus, serving diligently and cheerfully. God has given each of us spiritual gifts, talents, skills, and experiences to serve wholeheartedly behind the scenes or in the forefront. As we celebrate His creativity, He uses our uniqueness to spread the gospel and build up other believers in love. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Romans chapter 12, verses 3 through 8. For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. Let's pray. Lord, Thank you for equipping each of us with unique and beautiful gifts. We pray that you would help us see those gifts in ourselves and honor you by using them for your service. Thank you, Father. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
PT time. Yeah, it's PT time. We got to do. Okay, so this is for Z because this week he's got to go on a 10-mile road march. So I'm gonna do the road march. I'm gonna do my little minimum road march in here. Okay, celebrating my last son and doing this thing to serve his country. Okay, so can we do it? Come on now. Let's get it. Oh yeah. PT.
That's what I say. Hard work, earn my pay. Hard work, do it every day. I get up out of 2:45. Ready to go and earn my pay. Put the boots on and lace them up. I got another day to work. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. I get up, rough, move on now. Got to go make the call. Banging on the doors in the morning. Get up and let's go to work. Hard work, you pack up the shoes. Hard work, you load them up. Hard work, manifest. Hard work, you gotta do it right. Hard work, here we go. With the sun, I'm ready to rock. Hard work, I'm earning my pay. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, we moving on out. We gotta go and do the job. Load them up, airplane. In the early morning rain. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, letting me hear. Hard work, turn it up. Hard work, fired up.
Okay.
Everybody on the plane. Sit 'em on down.
Get 'em on down.
Hard work, the engines are on.
Representing the airborne this morning.
The mission is go.
Hard work.
That's what they say.
Woo.
Hard work, I do it for
I earn my pay.
hard work.
All right, let's get it.
Hard work, we're on the go.
Woo. I'm telling you. Oh, that's hard. And now, of course, we pay homage to all of our armed forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. And let us never forget the Merchant Marines. Because those guys, without those guys, World War II would have been almost an impossibility to win. Okay? So we'll come back right after this thing because we always have to honor those guys, our young men and women, including my son, your kids, your uncles, your aunts, your grandkids, people like that who are out there. Because somebody has to keep guard on it because freedom is not free. It is only one generation from us losing it unless the Democrats get reelected. Okay. Anyway, so let us pay homage to our armed forces and we shall be back uno momento. Okay. And is probably going to be the most important show I've ever done. That's the thing. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Whatever it is you're supposed to do out there. All right, let's get it done. Let's get it done. And of course, this is an Air Force town, so you really can't. You got to pay homage to the United States Air Force. Who wouldn't be here had it not been for the good grace of the United States Army out there? And last but certainly not least, they call them Devil Dog, the United States Marine Corps. Right, you got my tango hat. That's right. Okay. All right then. Okay, that's enough. We got it. Yeah. We got that. We got that good already. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How are you doing? Okay, let me give you the weather, and then we'll get to our main thing today, because I am going to do something. This is probably the most important show I have ever done on radio, and I've been on radio. This is not radio, but for our purposes, we'll just say radio, podcast, radio, whichever one you want to call it. This is probably the most important one I've ever done, because it gets right down to the nitty gritty of some of the problems that we have in our society today. Okay. Anyway, right now it's 77 degrees outside. For the rest of the week, it's going to be something like this. It's going to be a little cooler today, but 59% chance of rain or precipitation, cloudy with showers, high near 85 degrees. Lows tonight around 74, as a matter of fact. Chance of rain today, 60%. Locally heavy rainfall is possible. Tonight, a low of 74, 24% chance of precipitation. That normally means rain, probably not snow. And low of 74 degrees. Winds light and variable. On tomorrow, according to what the weatherman says here, according to tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms, high around 85 degrees, winds light and variable. Chance of rain tomorrow, 60%. So chances are it's going to be raining next couple of days. So just put an umbrella in the car with you. Don't act like you've never been wet, okay? Remember, if it ain't raining, we ain't training, okay? That's the Army's motto, okay? If it ain't getting wet, you ain't a soldier yet, okay? I'm just telling you. Anyway, precipitation day, 66% chance of thunderstorms likely in the next few minutes, in the next little bit here. Pollen is low because, of course, it's raining, so it's clean. Ragweed pollen, I don't know what ragweed is, but whatever it is, it's out there. Air quality is good. The air quality in Montgomery is good most of the time, as a matter of fact. But the pollen index is high. It's real high. It's so high you can't even reach it. Okay, that's what happens when the sun is out. But anyway, it's around 10 out of 11. Okay, all right. No, I listen. I don't drink. I do not drink energy drinks and stuff like that. Just don't. Listen. I ain't that old yet. Okay, I may be that old, but I just don't feel that old, so I don't drink that stuff. Okay, all right. Anyway, good morning to everybody. I'm trying to share something before I get started with my diatribe today. There's a thing here that you guys need to hear. I'm hoping you need to hear it anyway. What Martin Luther King talked about your philosophy of life. And let me find this here. I called myself finding it a little while ago, but I don't know. I got it on the. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay, so there we go, right here. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay, let me see.
in your various
Yeah, I don't know
fields
why
of
I
endeavor.
can't seem to get him.
You're going to be deciding as the days
Okay,
and the
so
years
it's all the way
unfold
up.
what you will do in life, what your life's
Well,
work will be.
I guess you know. Anyway, it's
The
about your
determination
blueprint.
to achieve
Your
excellence
blueprint.
in your various fields
Forever.
of endeavor.
Your blueprint of life.
You're going to be
He
deciding as
calls
the
it the
days and the years
philosophy
unfold
of life.
what you will do in life, what your life's
So
work will be.
we're going to see. So
Once you
evidently,
discover
I can't
what it will
seem
be set out to do it.
to get it to play for some reason. I got it shared and everything, but I'll figure that out. So I should have did this last night, but I didn't. I was so busy in thought. But today's show is the big lie. And you guys are going to figure out what that is when I get done with this in a little bit. But the big lie, it is a gigantic lie that has been perpetrated on people in this country, especially black folks, for years. And we have bought into it. We have bought into the lie. Okay, it's a big lie. I'm talking about a gigantic lie. This lie is bigger than Empire State Building. It's bigger than that thing over there in Dubai. That big old building that got over there going to the sky, trying to get to heaven without working. But no. It's a big lie. It is a big lie. Okay, and as long as we believe it, the things that are going on in our communities will continue to go on. The young men, I am so tired, so awfully tired of each week, not just in Montgomery, but in all over this country, hearing stories about young men dying, not at the hands of the police, not at the hands of some nefarious entity that came down from space, but at the hands of people who look like us, killing us. I'm so tired of knowing when they build prisons, often they have my young folks, my young little brothers and sisters, they have them in mind. Because there has been a proliferation of crime in our communities unlike any time we've ever seen in the history of our so-called freedom since 1962. There's always been violence, and as long as you have human beings, there's going to be violence. There's no doubt about it. That's going to happen. Good Lord said, "Poor will always be with you," but He never said it had to be you. Okay, never said it had to be you. You took that responsibility upon yourself. And if I could actually get my thing working here, I'll be all right. I don't know what's wrong with my sound, because I really wanted to play this for you guys today. I really wanted you to hear this, but I'll see if I can get it later on. But anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? Okay, because everybody's waiting for the big lie. Now, this is one of those shows that I may not have enough time. I may not have enough time today to get it all in, or I may have to go an additional hour today. This is so important that we have this conversation until I'm willing to even, who knows, do a Friday show. Okay, I'm not really, but I'll do the rest of the week. So I did some study yesterday, and I've often said it because I felt it in my heart that is what has been going on, but I didn't have any scientific proof until yesterday. Mm-hmm. 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 There seems to be, has anybody ever wondered how people like George Washington Carver, W.E.B. Du Bois, um, uh, 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 people of great great influence in the history of our country, black folks. The Tuskegee Airmen. Anybody ever wonder how they, even though they lived in a tougher time than we did, anybody ever figure out how they did what they did? Anybody ever figure that out? I mean, because systemically, what they did, they shouldn't have been able to do. I mean, they really shouldn't. I mean, they were horsewhipped, drawn and quartered, beat, set on fire, had more enemies against them than most people got in other places. They shouldn't have been able to do what they did. Okay, the Tuskegee Airmen shouldn't have been able to do what they did at the time they did it, but they did. And not only them, there are people here in Montgomery who did great things without recognition. And so let me take this opportunity to thank them, white and black people, who caught hell trying to uplift a people. Okay, so let's give them their due, the ones that are still with us, because they did. They did it. We hear we see the regular people, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, and all the other people that if you think about the civil rights movements, you think about those names because those were the stars of the movement, but they weren't the movement. The movement was people like you and I, white and black. Okay. But somewhere along the line, somebody told a lie. And they've been telling that same lie for a long time. So the question is, what is the lie? Well, now I know that I'm going to catch Dickens from lots of people this morning, but listen, I'll let you in. You can either come in on the in the studio, on our virtual studio, by clicking a link that I'm going to leave on my Facebook page. I'm going to let you come on in, or you can call on the phone. I don't care which one. But when you do call, you certainly better have some evidence that what you say is true. Okay? And that's all I'm saying. Have some evidence of what you say, because I got a boatload of evidence this morning. A boatload of it. Okay, about this lie we've been told for years. Years. Okay? So, what is the lie? That's what everybody wants. So what's the lie that has changed the paradigm for a group of people who at one point in time were upperly mobile? Do you guys realize? I want you to understand something here. Do you realize that people who do nothing but engage one another in certain positions have more political power as a group than we do? As black folks, they get more economic power, more political power than we do. I think we got about 30 million black folks in America right now. We've been shooting each other up for so long. It used to be 40 million, I think. Now we are the minority. Okay, we're not even the majority anymore. We're not even the majority minority anymore. We're the minority. And every time you take a step down on that ladder, you lose just a little bit more influence. We got weirdos who get more political, get the attention of politicians more than 40 million, 30 million black folks get. Why is that? Well, it's because of the big lie. Big lie that's been told to us in perpetuity. We've been hearing it. We've been hearing it as a people forever. And we've been hearing it so much that we began to believe it. We have began to believe it. Now, I'm going to share some information with you guys today that some of you are going to say, well, that's not true. Okay. I'll get it. What does the word philosophy mean? Does anybody know what the word philosophy means? Okay, I'm pretty sure some of you do, but do you really know? Do you really know what it means? Okay, that's all I want to do. Since everybody likes to go to Google, let's see what Google says about philosophy. PHIL. Okay, philosophy. Let's see what Google says. Philosophy. It is the study of fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, and languages, employing rational and critical inquiry. It's often described as the love of wisdom, which philosophy means for the love of wisdom. It involves examining, listen to this, it involves examining basic assumptions and exploring deep fundamental questions about the world and your place in it. Okay? That is what philosophy is. It is the recipe that you put together for your life. And it's like if you're going to make cornbread, you need a recipe for cornbread. Having a recipe for spaghetti and you're trying to make cornbread, well, it won't do you much good because you don't have the basic ingredients to make the dish that you think you want. Okay? Now y'all just follow me here. Follow me here. Okay? So what is it? Well, okay. Now, okay. GWC, right? He did not invent the peanut. Okay. Now, what he did, however, was he extracted all the valuable things from that peanut. But the good Lord, I think I'm still give him the credit for the peanut. Okay. But let's move on. Martin Luther King said, "Your philosophy of life is important. It determines the directions you go. There are no shortcuts to success. And even if you do everything right, doesn't mean that you are going to be successful. At least not in the way in America that we define what success is. Doesn't mean that. I'm getting to my point here in a little bit here. There is something wrong with the philosophical principles of my people. And I know who the culprit is, the culprit for getting it that way. See, I know who it is. Yeah, I know who it is. Somebody's responsible for that. Somebody has led us in a way that has been absolutely terrible. And they lied to us every step of the way. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they lied to us every step of the way. Okay. Now, I ain't mad at them. You know, their job was to make us believe the things that they wanted us to believe. Okay. Well, every election. Okay. And how this came up was I saw people whining about the president pretty much employing martial law almost in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, where we've had reports of people, the Secret Service being held up, the people who are responsible for the safety of dignitaries and the president of the United States, the cabinets people and the people of Congress, and their cars have been stolen. That's in the nation's capital. And we know who's doing the stealing. and who's doing the robbing and who's and all that stuff. That's because they have believed the big lie. They have believed the big lie that they have heard forever. Okay, since they've been here. Okay, they've heard it. Okay, so whatever they do, whatever they decide to go out and do, they always can hearken back to that big lie. Okay, all right then. Okay, now let me before I get to the big lie. You know, there's a report shedding light on Alabama and other cities in America, but let's stick with Alabama. Violent crime is considered homicide, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. And property crimes are included in burglary, theft, and auto theft. Using those metrics, okay, they have identified the most 10 dangerous cities in Alabama. Let me go over that list for you before I get to the big lie. Birmingham tops the list of Alabama's most dangerous cities with 14.2 violent crimes and 52.6 property crimes per 1,000 people, according to Reolink. Also recognizes Birmingham as one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. The city's West Precinct alone accounts for 38% of all shootings, while downtown areas reported frequent carjacking. As long as it ain't your car. Nobody wants my car. Police say new drone technology has helped reduce response times by 30%. And local intervention programs have led to a 22% drop in youth gang recruitment. Okay, so you said. Still, economic challenges continue to strain law enforcement resources in high-risk cities. What makes Montgomery dangerous? Before I get to the big lie. Montgomery reports 10.9 violent crimes per 1,000 residents, with domestic violence making up nearly 1/3 of the rate. The city also sees 43.7% property crimes per 1,000 people. Police credit license plate readers with helping solve 68 felony cases. Even with improvements, though, auto thefts are up 14%, along with the I-85 corridor. Which cities are the most dangerous in Alabama? Well, let's look at the list. Okay, let's look at the list. Birmingham, number 1. Number 2, Bessemer. Number 3, Mobile. And guess who's sitting at number 4? Montgomery. Who's sitting at number 5? Selma. Who's sitting at number 6? Anniston. Number 7, Pritchard. Number 8, Gaston. Number 9, believe it or not, Tuscaloosa, roll tide. Number 10, Dothan. That's fine. Where are the most dangerous cities in America? Okay, well, let's look at that one. Memphis, Tennessee. St. Louis, Missouri. That's of this year. Little Rock, Arkansas. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Detroit, Michigan. Kansas City, Missouri. Cleveland, Ohio. Birmingham, Alabama. And Houston, Texas. Okay, all right then. Okay. And I haven't got to the back lie yet. Haven't got to the big old lie yet. I haven't got there. What do all of those cities I just read to you have in common? Mm-hmm. Think about it. You don't even have to think long. What do all of those cities have in common? Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Detroit, Michigan, Kansas City, Missouri, New Orleans, Louisiana, Cleveland, Ohio, Birmingham, Alabama, and Houston, Texas. What do they all have in common? Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all gonna get this in a minute. Okay, and we're gonna get to that big lie that they've been telling. Okay, so anybody know what they all have in common? Come on now. Oh, and I got the proof. I have the proof of what I'm telling you. Okay. But tell me, what do all of those cities have in common that I just named? What do they have? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, then give us. I got the proof. As a matter of fact, you know the proof. You know the proof. But you see, we always say that because we think the proof is not there. Okay, and it goes back to the first thing I brought up this morning: philosophy. Philosophy. What is your life's philosophy? Martin Luther King asked that question decades ago. What is your philosophy of life? How you gonna get? First of all, where you want to go? How do you plan to get there? And how long is it going to take you? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, a lie told once remains a lie. That's true. A lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. Absolutely. That's what some people say. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so what is the what is the lie that is being told by everybody? Correlation. You're almost right. You're almost right. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Okay, you can. I somewhat agree, but not totally. You should take an actual logic and philosophy course. Fair. I love you. I like you. I do. I think you're a fine person. I don't need to go to school to see what I've learned with my own eyes, my own experience, my own travels around the world, and right here in this country, having lived in at least 13 states, having raised 2 boys. So I don't need a course to pay somebody to tell me what I already know. I don't need that. I don't need. But listen, if some of you guys need that, that's fine. That's cool. If you need to go to ASU or Auburn or wherever you want to go, Alabama, and so they can, that you have to pay them to what your heart tells you, what your eyes know, and what your brain has it knows. If you need them to tell you that, I ain't mad at you. Just go. They need your money out there. Okay, they need your money. Okay, okay. Now correlation does not necessarily mean causation. But there is a central thing here, that's true out of all of the cities that I just named with you, even here in Alabama. There's a couple exceptions. But for the most part, the exception, it is the same causation here that it is anyplace else. So let me get to my point. So what I did was I took all of these cities and I had to see what was the common denominator. Memphis, St. Louis, Little Rock, Detroit, Kansas City, New Orleans, Birmingham, Ohio, and Montgomery, of course, was on that list, but Montgomery is not as bad as some of these other places are. Okay, so what was the thing that they all have in common? Okay, here it go. The thing that all of the major cities in America, with all the crime, with all of the bad education systems, the thing that they all have in common is that they're ran by Democratic people of the Democratic Party. Okay, every last one of them. Okay, they ran by a certain philosophical principle. Okay, okay. Now you can if you want to, you can say you can blow it off. I don't care. But look for yourself. St. Louis, Missouri, Paul Young. He started off as a libertarian, independent, but then he went Democrat. St. Louis, Missouri, Carter Spencer, Democrat. Little Rock, Arkansas, Frank Scott, Democrat. Detroit, Michigan, Mike Duggan, independent, but his leanings have always been Democrat. Kansas City, Missouri, Quentin Lucas, Democrat. New Orleans, Louisiana, LaToya Cantrell, Democrat. Cleveland, Ohio, Justin Bibb, Democrat. Birmingham, Alabama, Randolph Wolfen, Democrat. And Houston, Texas, Democrat. So why is it that our major cities, with all the crime, the most crime, worst education systems, are all ran by Democrats? Now, it is not that these people are bad people. They're not bad folks. But your life's philosophy means something. It means it matters what you believe in. And for years, we've been telling our young folks, well, you can't get there because somebody else is in your way. Somebody else, and look it up if you think I'm lying. I tell you. Um, so there's something wrong with the philosophy. We've been hearing this BS for years and years and years and years that it's somebody else's fault. The fault is philosophy. It is the things that make up your life. And our kids are suffering from it because all they ever hear is that, well, we understand. And here, and the biggest lie, oh, Lord have mercy, I almost forgot this. The biggest lie, and Farrah, you listen to this. Poverty does not create crime. That's the biggest lie that anybody has ever told in any college, any high school, any theoretical premise in which they come up with. Being poor does not create crime. But I can tell you for certain, crime may be responsible for you being poor. Okay? Okay? So that's the biggest lie. Oh, well, crime, because we're poor, we're criminals. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. It's the biggest lie ever told to anybody. As a matter of fact, anybody who put that out ought to have their teaching credentials revoked for life. Crime, being poor does not make you a criminal. And I'm ashamed that people have thought that was a convenient excuse. I did not say education was not important. It's important, but it is not the cause. The lack of education is not the cause of crime. Okay? Education is very important. Nobody said it wasn't for your future. It is. Okay? When you what she says, when you can do what you want in your senior years, as whatever that means, every day. Okay, lies and what? Okay, okay, Well, I got the proof. Crime does not. Excuse me. Poverty does not is not the cause of crime. Greed is wanting something that you haven't worked for, wanting something that you haven't put in the time, the effort, or the life skills to get. Okay, that's what crime. So the question is, we don't. Poverty does not create crime, but crime certainly will create poverty. You want to know? I'm reading yesterday in the store. Guess what? There's a store downtown that's closing up. The only store that's downtown, Knickerknacker, it's closing up. Probably because they're not doing a whole lot of business down there, and they got to do what they got to do. But when Best Buy goes out to Chantilly and takes the jobs, and now I got to have a car to get there because they're no longer in our neighborhoods because we are robbing them, breaking into them. And as a matter of fact, Tuskegee don't have a Walmart anymore. You know why they don't have a Walmart anymore? Not because they had black folks in Tuskegee, because they would go in there and rob them. Even their employees were robbing them blind. Okay? So again, poverty does not cause crime, but crime certainly can increase the likelihood that you will be impoverished. Okay. Now, I know Democrats don't want to hear. The Democrats will tell you, well, because you're poor, that's why your schools are not as good as the other schools. That's why there are more black folks in jail than white folks in jail. Okay. Because of poverty. Poverty has nothing to do with you being a crook. Are you robbing somebody at the store last night? Or the shots yesterday that rung out on the boulevard? Mm-mm, no, no, it has nothing to do with poverty or anything like that. It has something to do with greed. Now, one thing America has done, it has taught us greed, a lot about it. We know a lot about greed. Oh, we do. We know a lot about it. We want things that we cannot have. Been a victim of that of myself. So we buy things that we cannot afford. And then sooner or later, it's back to where you bought it from, and somebody else is buying it again after you put a whole lot of money into it. Now you don't have it anymore. Okay. So the big lie is we are impoverished because we are poor. We're not. We're poor because we've been impoverished by people telling us what we could not do. Valiant cross. Valiant and greed can be good if I'm a business owner and I want to make 1,000 widgets, but I can't make 1,000 widgets by myself. So I'm going to have somebody to make those widgets for me. And when I do that, guess what? I get to make money. They get to make money. So I'm not saying greed is a bad thing, but it can be. And most of the time it is, but not all the time. Greed make you upwardly mobile. Okay. But let me digress. Valiant Cross is an outstanding school in this city. Okay. An outstanding school in this city. Every time I see those kids with those bow ties on and the respect that they show, because they are being trained to respect the process, to get their life's philosophy straight. Again, your life's philosophy is the recipe that you're going to use to be successful. Okay. That's all philosophy is. It is the ingredients that you are going to put into your life and make sure that you are going to at least put you in the way of success. Public school tells me all the time. For 4 years, Z went over there. All I heard was, well, we got to take everybody because everybody deserves an education. Well, some of them don't. Okay. We got to take everybody. Well, the folks at Valiant Cross has taken everybody that wanted to come there and wanted to deal with the rules that were in place so they could be successful. Okay. Something happened a long time ago, well, not so long ago, where the pursuit of excellence in our lives and our neighborhoods is gone. It's gone. It's out of here. Okay, not in every neighborhood, because the more you pay, the more you want to keep it. Okay, so if you're blessed enough to be able to get out of some of these neighborhoods and get to decent neighborhoods, then you understand what people are saying. Okay. Oh, telling you what you couldn't achieve, therefore you're going to work. You're going to work to the grave. That's not wrong with work. That's not wrong with work. All of us won't be rich. I'm not talking about being rich. I'm talking about having the basic knowledge to exist, the basic knowledge to stop people telling you. Again, all of these cities, if you look all over America, you'll find that all the cities in this country, 98% of them who have low education, the bar is low, crime is high, unemployment is high, and they're ran by people of the Democratic Party. There's something wrong in the philosophy of that party, and our people somehow has got tethered to it for the last 60 years. I do not know why. And I'm not saying the Republican Party is well, yeah, they are a little bit better. Yeah, there's no lie about it. They're a little bit better. The philosophy is better. I'm kind of like what's his name? The Buddhist guy. He said, "I love Christianity. I'm just not so crazy about some of them Christians. Well, I like the Republican philosophy, even though I'm not so crazy about some of them Republicans. But I'm not. I don't like anything about the Democratic philosophy. All they have done is lower the bar of expectations. Okay. So if a okay, oh well, oh if a see, I know she was going to be out there. If a small brain person tells you that you can't do it, whose fault is that? Yeah, sure, it's your fault. But if all you have ever heard, we know why. We know why because and there's one more corporate in this situation that rarely gets talked about because we don't want to talk about it. We have a hard time, talking about it. That's the lack of daddies in our communities. The lack of daddy. Now, I notice I didn't say fathers because every child that had ever been born has a father. But what we don't have is daddies. There are too many of us who walk away from our kids. I don't know whose fault it is. It could be the woman's fault, could be the man's fault. I don't know. But we always hear, well, this happened and that's happened and this happened. Those things may happen. You don't have to be. Trust me, I am not a paragon of a relationship. I've never been able to keep one or know how to do it. And I think that has a lot to do with not knowing my own dad, not knowing my own father. I didn't know him. Never got the lessons of life when it came to that kind of thing. But I did know one thing: kids need to be loved. They need to be disciplined, and they need to know that hard work has a dignity to it. Okay. And I'm not whining. That's what I'm telling you. Do something about it. But the philosophy of the Democratic Party, did you not hear me tell you that every city in this country, a big city, major city, that's in the crapper right now, that is economically going dead, that has crime out the wazoo, unemployment, bad education systems, they are all ran by Democrats. If that's not a wake-up call that what we believe is bad, then something's wrong. But it seems like to me, again, let me get back to Valiant Cross. I love those kids. When I see those kids walk down the street, I am a proud Black man because they carry themselves with esteem. They carry themselves in a way that brings pride to our communities, to our cities, to our lineage, our heritage. I love those kids. And you know what? Here's the sad thing about it. Regular public schools could do the same thing. They could do the same thing. But we spend too much time, okay? We spend too much time making excuses. And a lack of daddies. I don't know why it is we cannot have that conversation. And men, we ought to hold other men accountable, about the things, not in public, in private, hold them accountable for not doing what they need to do. And that is be part of their children's life. That's what they need to do. So that right there is one of the biggest impediments to success of your children anywhere. So again, what do we learn this hour? Your life's philosophy matters. Okay. And the biggest lie ever told is that the reason we have crime is because we have poverty. That is the biggest bunch of bull. I really wanted to say it, and this ain't radio, so I could actually say it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be nice. But that's the biggest bunch of bull crap than anybody. There are a lot of people who came out of poverty and became successful. As a matter of fact, the vice president of the United States was one of those people who was down there deep in the slums of poverty, from hillbilly land. I love this guy because he is a sign. He is what America is all about. Okay, he is what America is all about. Okay, it's all about. It ain't where you start. It's how you finish. Okay. But and Valiant Cross is about structure and order. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love those kids. I would let me see you mess with one of them out in the street. Oh, yeah, we gonna have a fight. Okay. We have a fight. 'Cause but public school spends too much time making excuses, making excuses for the behavior of our folks. So the big lie, there's a couple of them, is that we have crime because there's poverty. Bull crap. We have poverty because there's crime. Okay, so let's just put it where the goats can get on it. Okay, I started off this day with some of the most dangerous cities. Which cities are the most dangerous in Alabama? Well, Birmingham. What happens up there every day? We know. Bessemer. What's their main thing? Mobile, Montgomery, Selma, Anniston, Pritchard, Gaston, Tuscaloosa, and Dothan. And the only reason why Dothan is not at the top of the list, probably because the university, not Dothan, Tuscaloosa, is because the University of Alabama is there. Okay. So again, what is the common denominator of all of these cities that are in the crapper? 99.5% of them are ran by people who believe in the democratic philosophy. Now, I haven't figured out what the democratic philosophy is yet. I haven't quite figured it out. I don't know. But any party of people who says that it's okay to kill your children in the womb don't really care much about you. So I just want you, and any political party that tells people that you cannot mention God in a public place, something's wrong with them. Something is wrong with that philosophy. Okay, like Martin Luther King said, your life's philosophy. Okay, something's wrong with it. If you think that it's okay I understand there are certain times when a woman has to do what a woman got to do. Okay? If her life is in danger, absolutely, I go along with that. But to do it as birth control and then tell me my body, my choice. You had a choice before you laid down and got him. I ain't mad at you. Have the baby, put him up for adoption. If you don't want the responsibility of a child, I'm with you. Then put it up for. There are a lot of people who want a baby who can't have one. So you just did them a favor because they didn't have to go through all that stuff, and you went through it for them, and the baby's gonna have a great home. But any group of people who thinks that their paramount privilege that you ought to have politically is to kill your children, something's wrong with you. Okay, so if they don't care about the babies, what in God's name makes you think they're gonna care about you? What makes you think that they're gonna care about you? They don't. You are a vote. You are a means to an end. Okay. Again, look at this. Look at the country. Go anywhere in America where it's high crime, low education scores, and you'll find a Democrat somewhere in the midst. You just will. That's just the way it goes. I didn't make it up. That's science. That's not science. That's fact. That is fact. So, because I did the search, I did study over the last couple of days just to make sure I was absolutely right. When they came out with the most dangerous cities in America, along with the most dangerous cities in Alabama, 90% of them are ran by Democrats. And that's just what it is. Okay, so something's wrong with the philosophy of the Democratic Party, and why we as people, we hearken to that. We tether ourselves to that. We'd come out better. We'd come out better. I hate to say this. We come out better not voting. Most of you don't anyway. But we almost, and the rest of you didn't vote Democrat. I'd be all right with that too. Okay. And the Republican Party don't have all the answers either. But I'm going by the philosophy, not by the people. Okay. Okay. Are you a dumb? No, no, no. No, I'm not. I think Trump is doing what needs to be done. I think he's doing what needs to be done. Yesterday they whining about, well, he's gonna have martial law in Washington D.C. Listen, if you got the Pentagon not that far away, you got the White House, the House of Representatives, the United States Senate right there, and some of them getting robbed. Yeah, yeah, you need to do it. If the police can't get it done, then bring in the National Guard. Yeah, and if it happened here, I tell the governor bring in the National Guard in Montgomery, and it's almost getting to that point. Did you hear yesterday? Another woman almost got killed going down the boulevard. Somebody shot in the car going down the road. Somebody shot in the car. Okay, so there's something wrong in time and space for my folks. There's something wrong, and the only correlation that I have seen is Democratic Party, the philosophy, the things that they believe. Okay, the things that they believe are wrong for us. Used to be, my mother used to say, you can go out, you can wear the same pair of pants every day. Just make sure you wash them every night. Yes, ma'am. Okay. When you go to school, be quiet, pay attention. If you don't know something, ask somebody. Okay, the things during the George Washington Carver days, the Martin Luther King days coming up, the Jesse Jackson days coming up, we believed in excellence. Now I got people walking around here with their pants all down, drawers all showing, looking like. And what the hell happened? What in the hell is this tattoo thing? And Trump, listen, Trump he may be a dumbass. I don't, I don't, I don't know. All I know, he's president of the United States, and I'm not, and you're not either. You know, I know. Let me see here. Good morning. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That may be something. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Somebody said they can't hear you. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I can hear you, but somebody was saying they couldn't hear you on the line. Hmm. Well, there's and mhm. I was just trying to find the common denominator the last couple of days. What? Because we weren't always this way. We just
not mine, because they're going to grow up. They need someone in their lives to teach them something differently. And the things that we're trying to do in the city is not working. That's old school stuff.
Yeah.
In the communities. What are they actually doing? Where is that money? Because I will report them to the
Live free. And I did, yeah, and we did. Mhm. Right. Well, I did ask the mayor. Now, right. When the mayor was on last week, I asked him about the Live Free money. Now, the revelation was in that conversation is that all, according to the mayor, all that money didn't go to Live Free. It was $3 million. Evidently, according to him, it went to local nonprofit organizations also. So mhm. Well, again, evidently they brought something forth to the city council because all of the city council had to. I mean, the majority of the city council people had to agree with this money being divvied out. Yeah, yeah. Mm, mhm, mhm. No, yeah, yeah, we really don't. Yeah, we don't. We don't really hear from them. Uh, Now let me. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on a second, Brenda. Anybody out there? Can you guys hear Brenda now? That we changed the thing, and just let me know we can hear her. Still can't hear. Well, I don't know why. Yeah, it ain't you. It's not you. It's something over here. And I put it all back to where it was. Let me see. Let me see. Let's go here. Okay. Okay.
I was what basically what I'm saying is the city of Montgomery is not doing things that are peer reviewed, that have been looked at professionals in that field. What are they doing? Is it approved by the people in the field? They're not using anything that's scientific.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is what it concerns me. We're just giving out money, and I want to hear from the public. Are we gonna sit idly by and just let them just continue to do this to our kids? It could be your child next,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
your child's child. Because if you sit idly by and continue to go along to get along just to stay in favor of the of people who think that they run this city,
Mm.
I feel sorry for you, because you know what? It can happen to your children too and your grandchildren. So think about that. They've got to go through the system. Everyone can't afford a private school.
That's true.
Okay. And
All
these
right.
charter schools are not doing what they're supposed to do. So my question is to the public: are we going to stand idly by and continue to let this happen without raising our voice and letting the politicians know that we're unsatisfied? We're not satisfied with what they're doing. So if I'm the only one, I know people have their eyes open and their ears open. What I want the public to do is to speak up.
Mm. Okay.
And that's all I have to say today. And I'm sorry if you all can't hear me, but if ask them again, Kevin, because you need to hear all the listeners, that the callers that are calling in. The
Mm-hmm.
public needs to hear what they have to say. So if we're not getting the message, you can't hear the callers, you need to let Kevin know, please.
Yeah, please let me know. Yeah,
Thank you.
I think we squared that away though. Sorry about that. But anyway, so the whole thing today was the big lie. And the big lie is that we keep telling our kids that because you're impoverished, that's a reason for crime. The reason why we have poverty is because there's too much crime. Okay, so I'm just thinking, it's been a lie. It's a way to make people think it makes people think that they're not responsible for where they are. And as long as we have a group of people, a subgroup of people who think that it's somebody else's fault, it's you can't quit the third grade, not in today's economy. And although come think, but right now they do need people, but you can't do it. It's the big line. And again, after looking at after doing research for the last couple of days about the cities where the crime is high, the education is low, all of them had one thing in common: 90% of them have been tethered to a democratic philosophy, the Democratic Party. Not all the people, and I'm not talking about. Okay, let me make sure I get this right. It is not the people, the regular folks like the people live here. Okay, it's not. It's a. I know some folks here that are Shamari Figures, who I like, a well-educated man. Believe he's a moderate for the most part, a moderately Democrat. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a guy that believes in right and wrong. That is something that a lot of folks don't see. But we live in such a time that we actually believe. We actually believe. Now think about this for a second. This is why it bothers me. We actually believe that a man can have a baby. We are teaching our kids in public school that there's such a thing as transgender. We are teaching our kids that a man can turn himself into a woman, and a woman, by osmosis, by her thing, she just got to think it, and she is it. She becomes a man, and a man becomes a woman. I mean, seriously, if you can't teach them the basic fundamental existence of male and female, then I don't trust anything else you got to say. There's nothing you can tell me that would make any sense whatsoever. And I am so glad. I mean, Donald Trump has his issues. Trust me, he does, because some days he ticks me off too. But that ain't one of them. The other day, the president of the United States told everybody who works for the federal government, it's okay if you want to put your Bible on top of your desk. Okay. Up until that time, they were prohibited from showing any signs of believing in something higher than the federal government. Okay, I mean, seriously, yeah. And so I'd rather keep him than the crap we got. He's not perfect. I'm not either. He's done stupid things. So have I, and so have you. Okay, haven't always made the right decisions. Nah, I haven't either. Did a lot of things I wish I could have took back. Yeah, I've done some of that too. What I'm telling you is that we're human beings, and we are not perfect. But again, the one undeniable fact, and if you want to call us, you can do that 521-2963. Now everything is working. The one undeniable fact is that every city in this country where the crime is high and the education is low is ran by a Democrat. But if it's not, somebody please tell me. I mean, I could be wrong. But show me. I mean, where from New York, California, wherever you want to go, the big cities, it's and education is really one of the few things that we can guarantee a result if you get one. I don't care what it's in. Learn how to do something. You better learn how to do something with your hand. Because I got to tell you something. This AI stuff, you think crime is high now? When a brother can't get a job or a sister can't get a job or a Bubba or Leroy can't get a job not because they're lazy, not because they're not looking, because we are turning our business platform over to AI. So you need to learn something about AI or learn how to do something with your hand. Because no matter how good AI is, it can't build a house. Of course, we could make a machine. I believe most of the houses are going to be modular houses pretty soon anyway. I believe that they're going to. Matter of fact, I saw one the other day on TV. It's an old people home. It's wait a minute, $4,200. You get a 2-bedroom. It looks like a trailer, but you put it on a platform. $4,200, man. Right on. I got to get me one of those. I'm gonna get me one of those. But I don't need no big old mansion. No sense me. No sense me acting like I'm broke. Democrats believe that girls and boys are the same physically. That's because the ones who believe they are absolutely idiots. They're just idiots. Okay. Again, so the big lie is, first of all, there are a bunch of them, but the only two I focus on today was there's you have crime because you live in poverty. Okay, that's just not true. Matter of fact, somebody said the Democrats believe that men make the best women. Evidently, they must think that because when it comes to our sports teams, they think that I don't want to go there. The question is, how do we change this? How do we change from mediocrity to excellence? How do we change? How do we keep a lot of our and part of that, the major part of that problem, there needs to be a changing of men when it comes to their kids, especially their boys. The girls are important too, but boys, they need a man. Boys need a man in their life. Okay, they just do. There were 6 boys in my family and 2 girls. And I got to tell you, when I got old enough to look mama in the eye, hey, you can hit me if you want to, but if you do, I'm gone. I ain't coming back. And I did that a whole bunch of times. I left. I just said, hell with this. I'm gone. I did that plenty of times. But by the grace of God, because when I was out there in them stupid streets, I did a couple of things I shouldn't have done. But thank God I've been forgiven for that, I hope. I just, you need a. There needs to be a man. We need. I don't know. I thought when we did the Million Man March, I thought that was a wake up call for a lot of us men. And now some of the women got to wake up too. Some of them have to wake up. They have to say, listen, regardless what our differences are, that man needs to be in his child. If that's his child, that man needs to be in that boy's life. Because whether you believe it or not, a boy will always wonder. He will always wonder about his dad. Always. I'm telling you, I'm 68 years old, and I still get upset about not knowing not ever seeing I saw my father one time. And I'm old school now. It doesn't even matter at this point, but it does matter. It'll be with some. It'll be with you for the rest of your life. I get so upset when I see people on Facebook giving their dad their 90th birthday, giving them whatever birthday it is. It's good that they've known their father all that time, and that man hasn't done. Relationships break up. Trust me, I'm a professional at breaking up relationships, but the relationship between father and son, you can't break it. You can mess it up, but you can't break it. It is what it is. You are the father. Can't change it. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. How has this Republican BS worked for you personally? I'm sure you're not rich and famous. You see, you got it backwards, Mr. Charles. You're looking at the wrong thing. All Republicans are not rich and famous. Like all Democrats are not totally broke. Okay. Matter of fact, Democrats make a lot of them make a good living. It's not about being famous. It's about having the opportunity to go the direction by which you want to. And you can't go that direction if you're in jail. If you believe that the BS that these people have been telling you, that the reason why you can't get there because you black, or the reason you can't get there because you was born in poverty. Hell, I was born in poverty. As a matter of fact, do they have a poverty 2.0? I was in that one. So you can't. It's not about money. It's about your life's philosophy, like Martin Luther King said. Okay, and I was trying to get that a little while ago, but I can't seem to. I'm gonna take a break and see if I can get to that, because it really is about what you believe in life. Okay, and I will tell you, the Republican philosophy is better for us than the Democratic philosophy. Okay, it is. It's just better. Don't wait for Uncle Sugar to come and save you. Because Ronald Reagan once, he said it better than, more distinctly, succinctly than I could ever say it. He said, the worst thing you ever want to hear is, I'm from the government and I am here to help you. Okay? And somebody said, it's all part, and I listen, I believe this. It's all part of the Democrats' plan to denigrate the nuclear family, a man and a woman raising their own children. I believe you. I believe it is. I don't think they, Hillary Clinton, y'all wanted to make her president. She got an award from Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is known for abortion, and her thing was she wanted to get rid of black children. But she took that award, and y'all wanted to vote for president. Listen, the Democratic Party's got it bad. Anyway, so I got to take a. And again, tell me why I'm crazy, my brother. Tell me why I'm crazy. Make it make sense. I'm telling you, after 68 years of living through this, listen to all the Bravo Sierra that I've heard over the years, and 34 of those years have lived right here. Live right here. When I got here, we were talking about fixing up Fairview Avenue. Guess what? We still fixing up Fairview Avenue. Okay. When I got here, the school systems were better. Something happened in the 90s. I don't know what it was. Something happened in the 90s. Hold it. Let me take this call for a second. Y'all just hang loose for a second. Hello. Good morning. Hey, you're not on the air. So 521 2963. Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Sometimes when I'm in demand. Okay. You voted and that's fine. Y'all can. Okay then. Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant Elkins.
Good morning, First Sergeant.
Sir, you made a statement. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You say the Republican philosophy is better than the Democratic philosophy. Is that correct?
That is correct. The basic fundamental tenets are better.
So I think it would be probably better stated that maybe the conservative philosophy is better than
Okay. Okay.
liberal. I don't think it's the Republican philosophy
Yeah.
because this group that's in power now
Mm-hmm.
are not Republicans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Republicans that you mentioned, Ronald Reagan, Mitt Romney,
Mm-hmm.
McCain,
Mm-hmm.
Bush, none of those people are revered by this group that's in power now. Would you agree?
I would agree. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a conservative philosophy because, again, listen. People, people are human beings, and they're never as
Yeah.
bad as we say they are, but they're never as good as they
Right.
think. They're never as good as they think they are. So, I would agree. Hey, I stand corrected. Yeah. Mhm.
So George Bush, 1,000 Points of Life, Kindler, Gentler, those people are not considered Republicans anymore. They are shunned by this group.
Mhm.
Anything to help humanity, they are. I mean, now you can disagree. They're changing all the norms that we've ever had in this country.
Mhm. How do we get here, though?
And that's
How do we
that's
get here?
dangerous.
Yeah,
That
but
Kevin. So, for example, what's happening in Texas? Do you
Mhm.
believe if we had a standard norm that every 10 years after the census we would look at redrawing the maps? That was a norm throughout the country. Every 10 years after the census, we would look and redraft congressional
Mhm.
maps. Is that correct?
Yes, but the problem with redrawing maps is that for some reason people think it's for the voter. It isn't. It's for the
Well,
party.
it's not. I'm not dealing with why. I'm
Well, I
just
mean,
talking about the process.
but if we're not benefiting from the redrawing of these districts, then what difference
It's
does it
not.
make?
But I'm just saying the norm has been every 10 years
Well, maybe
that
sometimes
they would
normal ain't
redraw
good.
congressional maps.
Right, but maybe sometimes they need to do it differently.
But Kevin, so if a group that comes in and says we can look and see we're going to lose seats in the midterm, while we in power, let's do it at the 5th year.
Well, we've done it
So if
every place else. I mean, we've done it in the South.
we've not, no, it's been every 10 years, sir. It's been the agreed upon
Okay.
principle
Okay.
in practice.
Is it law
So
or
if
is it law or is it a
See,
is it a
and that's the problem with what's going on now
Yeah.
is we want to get and say, well, because we've always done it every 10 years, if we say every 5 years is going to benefit us,
Mhm.
now it's going to say, hey, now, and that's the problem is my thing is you was in the military, good order and discipline
Oh,
and
absolutely.
what we followed in tradition.
Mhm.
Now, some traditions need to be done away with. I
Right.
agree.
Mhm.
But when you're looking and say, I'm going to call the National Guard in, I'm not going to do like Alabama is doing, is working with the Aaliyah. You know, do you think that they should call the National Guard to Montgomery?
I believe sometimes. I mean, essentially, we have done that. We got the sheriff department and we got the Aaliyah. I mean, essentially, we have done that.
That's dealing with local government.
Right.
That's not the federal government taking over. See, and I think everything that has been the norms, and that's my challenge is being a person that's followed good order and discipline
Mhm.
and rules and regulations, that when you have a group that have kicked out everybody and says, just flip over everything and let's do it differently. And that's why I say the other people that I mentioned, the Bushes, the Cheneys, the McCains, the Reagans, all of those people, they're not accepted by this group that's in party,
Mhm.
in power.
Mhm.
And so it's not a Republican philosophy.
But
Because
do you
these people
believe?
would say
Right.
that
But do you
these people in party are not
Mhm.
Republicans.
do you believe that the way they treated this man in office the first time he was there, because he wasn't one of them, calling him a spy for the Russians, and all these kinds of names they called that man, I don't blame him. He's the president of the United States. Whether
Yeah,
you like him
yeah.
or not, they disrespected him on
So,
every
so
level.
that gives him the right to go and just do away with accepting an airplane from a foreign country, creating money and
Wait a minute.
bitcoins and
Wait a
profit.
minute. Wait a minute. He ain't
That
taking.
gives him a right.
Wait a minute. He's not taking the airplane home, is he?
We don't know.
Well, if he does, then
We
we can
don't know.
talk about it.
He said we don't know. But what about the bitcoins and selling and his family benefiting? But Kevin, what I'm saying is, and again, what you just pointed to was what they're a master at, which is deflection. We're going to deflect. We're going to say, hey, man, we got this Epstein thing that we've been barking for years that this was a government cover up. We want to release it.
Mhm.
Bond, everybody has said, let's release the Epstein files.
Now I'm with
They
you.
get in power now.
Bongino kind of surprised me because he went up there and act like a church mouse.
He made a career out of it.
Yeah,
he
he
made
did.
millions of dollars on his podcast.
Yeah, he did.
So what happens when the dog finally catch the car, sir? What do you do with it?
You realize that the
You
car too
bark
heavy.
and run and run and run. Now you caught the car. What do you do? And
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying is
Yeah.
this group in power. I just wanted to address the statement that you say the Republican philosophy is the best, and I just disagree.
Okay, and that's
fine.
That's fine.
The conservative philosophy may be better because America is
conservative philosophy,
not
which is what I mean. Yeah, which is what I actually
stay in the middle.
Right.
Thanks for taking the
And
call,
listen,
friend.
sergeants don't disagree with first sergeant, so hey, I'm good.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking the call.
Simplify. Anyway, what else were we talking about today? We're talking about a lot of things. Anyway, the big lie, and one of the big lies is that because of poverty, you're poor, and I mean because of poverty, it creates a criminal environment, and that's not true. You poor because of crime, and not the other way around. And we just need to stop telling that lie. Stop making our kids think that it ain't their fault. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's your fault. You go out and rob and steal and cutting people. Other than anybody hear yesterday about a woman going down the road yesterday and getting shot at again? We're lucky that woman is alive and not another woman that has been paralyzed coming down Northern Boulevard. Okay. So I'm just saying we got some issues that unless we as a people want to deal with it, because most of these towns where these things are happening are populated majority Black. There's something wrong with our belief system. Okay. Something's wrong with it. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong. Not everybody, because there are a lot of people out here every day, go to work every day, and they just grind. They just grind. That's what they do. And they ain't got time to be out there in the streets. My child's a good kid. Both of them are. And part of that is I would like to think, now it may not be totally true, their mamas, they probably did a little bit more work than I did. But I was there. I was there because I didn't really know how to raise no baby. But I knew that they needed to know that I would knock them out if they got wrong. Okay, I would knock them both out when I get. That is the only thing that I was willing to go to jail for. I wasn't going to go to jail because I stole something. I wasn't going to go to jail because I robbed the bank. But I would go to jail willingly. Make me a bed if my child ever disrespected their mama, disrespected anybody in the public. I would have knocked the hell out of them, and they knew it. Okay, even though they're both taller than I am now, they can probably whoop me. Hopefully they won't. They won't remember these days. So we're good. Anyway, let me take a break. And we'll be back uno momento. Man, where'd the time go when you're having fun? So anyway, the big lie, the show today was about the big lie, about the lie that you can't do it because you're poor. And again, we voting Democrat most of our lives, and every city in America that has low education marks and high crime is ran by Democrat. What does that tell you? That tells you that the philosophy by which they are predicated, by which they live their lives, something is wrong. And Lord knows I'm tired of seeing every day there's another Black child been shot. Another, how many 4,200 bed prisons are we going to have to build in this country and put the majority of those people going to be Black folks? So I do not know what we are going to do about this, but we certainly need to do something about it. What that is, I really don't know. But we need to do something about what's going on with our young folks. Because if we don't, we're in some trouble. I mean, we're just in trouble. I don't know what to do about it. Some of you don't know what to do about it. School just began. Let's see how it all. Let me take one more. Let me take the one call before I get out. Good morning. Good morning.
Dog.
Yes.
Let me tell you this once again to to your caller. It wasn't Marty today, but it was your other caller a minute ago. In North Carolina, Florida, Virginia, and Pennsylvania, Republican-friendly maps were thrown out mid-decade in favor of plans that were better to Democrats. Mid-decade. You got it?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I had heard that. I had actually heard that, but I didn't know what the
You heard it from me.
Yeah, because I didn't know the reference for it. Yeah.
And by the way, what Trump is doing as president, taking over D.C.
Yeah.
It's legal. The Supreme Court has decided it's legal. He can do it, and he did it.
And again, you got Secret Service people being robbed. You know, well, I mean, Secret Service
again, and I agree with the guy. It's conservative philosophy,
right,
versus liberal. And if you love crime, if you're a liberal and love crime, hey, go for it.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, all those that liked that Moran girl getting killed by an illegal alien, hey, that's liberals. They love crime. But guess what? A lot of people don't like crime, especially on ourselves. I don't like crime.
Yeah,
I try to prevent it with my Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, I ain't too crazy about it either.
All right, but sure hadn't heard from your brother Marty today. It's been I guess all the rain wetted it down before he could get to it.
I don't know, brother. I do not know. Anyway, appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
You got to take a break. We'll be back. Uno momento. Okay, so hang loose. We'll see how it goes on the way back here. Okay? Hang on. I'm trying to get my music but you don't seem to play either. So I'll be right back in a minute or two. Alrighty, we are back. I gotta figure out, I gotta figure out my sound system here. Oh, I can turn my hat back around. That's not the way I want it. Okay, this is the way you wear a Kango. You don't wear the Kango. That's right. Okay, I learned that from Samuel Jackson. All right. Anyway, there are other things going on, but again, I just wanted to again let me make my point and give you my proof. Okay. What are the safest cities in Alabama? Guess where it is? Vestavia Hills. They rank one of the safest cities in Alabama, reporting just 0.9 violent crimes per 1,000 residents. The Birmingham suburb credits its low crime rate to a strong community policing model and top-rated schools. Because at the end of the day, what you learn will take you further than what somebody tells you. Okay, so what you learn. So education is a big deal, but it's only a big deal if it's really education. If it's not education, if it's sitting there all day long talking about how bad the world is and how you ain't gonna never make it because you're not gonna ever make it because you was born poor. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear this what your mouth saying. Um, Again, which are the most dangerous cities in Alabama? Number one, Birmingham. Number two, Bessemer. Number three, Mobile. Number four, Montgomery. Number five, Selma. Number six, Anniston. Number seven, Pritchard. Number eight, Gaston. Number nine, Tuscaloosa, which kind of surprised me that Tuscaloosa would be on there. I talked to the mayor about 8 months ago, and we had a good time. And number 10, Dothan. Now, I was certainly surprised to see Dothan. Okay. We're the most dangerous cities in America, and every last one of these cities is ran by a Democrat. Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Detroit, Michigan, Kansas City, Missouri, Cleveland, Ohio, okay, Birmingham, Alabama. Well, if you want Alabama to be on that list, that's a terrible thing, but we on it. And Houston, Texas, okay. The mayors of those cities, St. Louis, Cara Spencer. If you want to look it up, Memphis, Paul Young, Little Rock, Arkansas, Frank Scott, and they're all the Democrats. Kansas City, Missouri, Quentin Lucas. New Orleans, Louisiana, Latanya Cantrell. Cleveland, Ohio, Justin Bibb. Birmingham, Alabama, Randall Woodfin, who's also a Democrat. Now, Houston, Texas, he was a Democrat, but he changed his mind. I forgot his name, but now he's nonpartisan, which means he's still a Democrat for the most part. Okay. So anyway, so that's what brought all this on today. Okay. Oh, here's another one. And here's one. Here's another issue that I have with the Democratic Party in Fairfax, Virginia, which is a Democratic, foothold. The Fairfax County Public School System, FCPS, has confirmed it is investigating allegations that the staff at Centralville High School arranged and even paid for student abortions, reportedly in 2021, for minors, including a 17-year-old, without notifying their parents. Okay? The school system states that such actions were not known to be happening prior to these revelations, and the situation, if accurate, would be unacceptable. Right. The district's existing policy encourages staff to support students suspected of pregnancy by urging them to discuss their situation with their parents and guardians. But the policy does not require staff to notify parents themselves. So you see, again, if you live in a place where they don't value life, then how in the world are they going to value you? I'm just saying. Okay. Okay, then. Other day at the city council meeting the other day, Mr. Jamel Brown went up there, and of course he's called himself running for governor, and he made a mockery out of the. Matter of fact, now what he said was true. I mean, there is too much crime. There's too much crime in Montgomery, and we kind of ran by a Democrat too. So hey, I don't know. I mean, well, I really don't care about the Democratic philosophy. The philosophy is just bad. It sounds good. It really does. It really, because everybody should care about everybody. We should care about hungry people. We should care about people who can't make it. But there's just something wrong. There's just something wrong with that philosophy. And again, the liberal philosophy versus conservative philosophy. I like conservative philosophy, but I'm not so crazy about some of them conservatives. Okay, so that's true, because conservatism is all right if you need it at the moment, but it is a hard, and being conservative don't mean you're not stupid sometimes, and it certainly doesn't mean you don't do wrong things, you don't make right decisions. It doesn't mean that either. It just means that principally there are certain things you believe and you won't change your mind, and one of the things you believe, I think as a conservative, you believe that a man's a woman and a woman's a man, because if you cannot And I'm more of a listen, Father. I mean, Doctor, I'm a moderate also. I think you can't go. I don't think you can go too far on either side. Telling a woman whose life is in danger, well, because we got a law here, if you have this baby, there's a good chance you won't make it. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, don't want to do it, but you know, the life we have is what we have now. We may not have the other one. So again, I'm more of a moderate also. I mean, I can see some good things on both sides, but philosophically, I just believe that the conservative philosophy is what's best for the individual. The way the Democrats do this, they think the philosophy is best for everybody. I think you extract from a philosophical principle the things you need out of it and you keep moving. It's not going to be best for everything. It's not going to be best. There's some people who don't want to be doctors, but then yet and still there's some people who can't be a doctor who, like me, I didn't have the brains to be a doctor. So why am I going to sit here and get mad at doctors? I'm not. I'm not going to get mad at people who work their butt off and to make a good living. And now that they make the good living, and see what goes on. So anyway, so much for that. Anybody got any more complaints this morning? Okay, what is Gary? It's impossible to be too against the Democrat if you're an American. If we forget about political parties and take care of each other in the world, will be a better place. I would agree. I'm not tethered to either one of them. I'm not tethered to Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I mean, those parties. Let's understand, those parties are private organizations. People have a right to have to join with people of like minds. Okay, I just need to know where your mind is. So there's nothing wrong with a group of people like Morning View Baptist Church. Or I go to Morning View Baptist Church most of the time because I like the people over there. You know. So I go to Catholic church sometimes because I like the people over there also. you know, I go to a couple of churches around town. But the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is a private organization. Okay, and again, just because you vote for them, don't make you one of them. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. It don't make you one of them. Anyway, man, what a great time. So anyway, so the day's show was The Big Lie. And the big lie is there is crime in your communities because you're impoverished. That's a bunch of Bravo Sierra. That's poverty in your communities because there's crime. Stop the crime. People will reinvest in our communities, and poverty, if it won't be gone, at least it will be manageable. Okay? Because I'm not rich either. So again, the big lie. And so that's been the lie that they've been telling us for years and years and years. Oh, well, the reason why, and again, if you look again, if you don't learn anything from this show today, you learn this. Every school system in America that has low grades, high crime in the community are ran by Democrats. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Okay, but if I'm wrong, please tell me the city and the managing party of the person that's in power. Please tell me. And if you find one that's a Republican, I'll tell that too. But the funny thing about it, you've got to find a Republican that has a city being ran that way. Democrats, it is the norm. Okay, and all we got to do is go up the road a little bit to Birmingham. Okay, go down the road a little bit to Mobile. Pritchard. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't make it up. I didn't start it. Somebody else did. So again, that's all I need to know. So today's lesson was do some research on it. Every school system in America that is sucking wind, every place where there's a bunch of crime, there is Democrats in charge. There's something wrong with the life philosophy of these people. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with the things they believe. Again, a woman cannot be a man and a man cannot be a woman. If we can just figure that one out, then we may be on to something here and we may get our country back. Okay, we may do that because if you can't believe in the fundamental existence and creation of our species, which is male and female, if you go to California, they got 57 genders. And you think that it's weird that the folks from California are a little bit nuts? Oh, no. 57 genders. Really? Last time I looked in a good book, in the book of Genesis, there's only male and female. Okay. Now we got she-male, he-male, the male, and all kind of things. Okay. Cisgender. Okay. Gender, it's simply put, it is either you are a male or a female. Now, every once in a while, there's a mix up there, and you get what's called hermaphrodites. Okay. And when an individual is born with both genitalia. Now, that's the only person that I'm going to excuse for being confused. Okay. I feel you. And you got to figure that one out yourself, which one you want to be. But that's still our fault because it probably had something to do with the drugs we're giving our folks in hospitals and places like that. So maybe Kennedy is on to something. Maybe Senator Kennedy was on to something with all these drugs and vaccines and all this stuff. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know if being a hermaphrodite is something that showed up in my lifetime or a couple of centuries ago, or there's something that came at the beginning of time. I don't think the Bible deals with that one. Again, now they did say there was a eunuch, and those are people who decide to, get rid of their parts so they don't have the responsibility for it. Okay, something like that. Anyway, I don't know what I think a eunuch means you don't have either, you cut it off or something like that. I think that's what that means. Anyway, I gotta go. It was great being with you guys this morning. And if you disagree with me, well, I understand. I feel you on that. But we'll talk again tomorrow about whatever it is that you want to talk about. All right. So have a great day. And we'll be back hopefully on tomorrow. You're thinking of sex. Well, not really. I'm just not thinking of sex. I'm almost too old for it anyway. Not really. I'm just jiving you on that one. But it's time to go. I was thinking of but sex and gender, it's the same thing. Okay. I know liberals think it isn't, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah. Sex and gender, it's the same thing. I gotta go. So I'll see you guys later on. Should I rerun this show today? I think I should. I'll do it later this afternoon. So we'll be back. The big lie has been uncovered by me, all by myself in America. So now, if everybody else hears this all across America, we'll be a better country, okay? Because we'll know that the Democrats have trained us to not believe in ourselves and want us to believe in them. Well, okay then, if that's what they want to play. Anyway, gotta go. See ya. Bye.